All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would love to start by giving all honor, glory, infinite praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders of the great millstone that taught us his truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the sincere Akim. Labor in this truth, preaching and teaching, believing on the name Yahweh Bahashem Shai. And peace, blessings, salutations to the men, women, and children that believe on the name Yahweh Bahashem Shai. And I wanted to do a quick lesson through the Spirit. I was conversating with a brother, earlier, and we were talking about a few things through the Spirit. And I wanted to go into this, because as we were talking, I was like, damn, that's a lesson. And so I wanted to go into it. And, I'm going to title this lesson, practicing what you preach. Because as men of the Lord, or potential men of the Lord, Lord willing, we are those men, we have to live our lives according to a certain standard. And the standard is the scriptures. And that's the only standard. And understanding that this is how we're supposed to live our lives according to the scriptures. In scriptures, in what does it tell you in Joshua 1 in verse 8, it says, "For this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success." You even got a precept in Revelations 11. I'm going to grab it real quick, and I'm going to start at 1. It says, "And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood saying, Rise and measure the temple of the Most High." Who's the temple of the Most High? You Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, Native Assembly Indians. It says, the temple of the Most High, and the altar, and them that worship therein. Right? When you read it in the NLT, it says, "Then I was given a measuring stick, and I was told, Go and measure the temple of the Most High and the altar, and count the number of worshipers." And we're the true worshipers. But the true worshipers are the ones that's going to worship Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai in spirit and in truth. And so there's a certain way, if we worship Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai in spirit and in truth, there's certain ways that we're supposed to be living. But understanding that we must hold ourselves to the standard first. That's why when we do these lessons, you often hear brothers say, "Speaking to myself first and foremost." Even in this lesson, I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. But these are the things that brothers got to consider and lay to mind. Like, could you be giving brothers counsel, or you be giving brothers correction, or whether you be rebuking brothers or whatever you do, you got to make sure that you done pull the mold out of your own eye first. You got to make sure that you got shit right within yourself first before you go correcting somebody else, trying to be profitable unto another person, but you're not profitable to yourself. And so I'm going to get ready to hit these precepts, even the ones I've been quoting, and Lord, wouldn't this video be edifying? And I'm going to start with James chapter 1 in verse 22. And I'm going to read it in the NLT as well, KJV. It's James 1 and 22. It says, "But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves." So even when we listen to the certain epistles that our apostles and elders and the men on down have done, or listen to, Salaki, beginning with our apostles and elders and the men on down do, and upload, or what camps we watch or camps we visit, and we see the men teach, and we adhere to these words. But it said, "Be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only." So when we hear these things, we got to do them. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to apply. That's wisdom, the application of knowledge. So once we got the knowledge, we got to apply these things to our lives and to our walks. You know what I'm saying? Because the scriptures talk about how how the scriptures, it's a law, it's a lamp unto our feet, roughly paraphrasing. So understanding that this is how we see through the midst of darkness, or in the midst of all this wickedness and perverseness that's going on in the world. So when we hear these things, we got to apply these things in our lives. It says, "And not hearers only, deceiving your own selves," because you just letting it go on one end, not the other, really. You think you got it. You think you understand it. But really, you ain't doing nothing that you've been told to do. You ain't listening to the counsel. You ain't really applying the precepts. You ain't really applying the things that our apostles and elders, or your camp heads, or the men that are over you, or that the Heavenly Father has placed in your lives to be leaders into you, so that you don't fall into all these basically these death traps that have been set up around us. You know what I'm saying? But when you don't, then guess what? You're only deceiving yourself. When you read it in the NLT, it says, "But don't just listen to the Most High's word. You must do what it says." So you can't just, hit a word, but you ain't going to do what it say. You know what I'm saying? They even got that saying in the world, when you know better, you do better. So now that you got to apply these things to show that you know. And now that you know, it's going to show by what you do. Now other people, other men, they're gonna see that. Yeah, he do know. Now your light is so able to shine before men that they glorify your Father which is in heaven because you're like, he get it. It's something different about him, or he really understand what's going on, right? It says, but the hell, that's how we look at it. When we look out in the world, that's how we understand that these people don't know what the fuck is going on because we constantly prophesying week in and week out, but none of their actions or none of their behaviors and the shit that they doing is changing. So we know they don't get it. It says. It says, and understanding that too, like, just one more point, want to go before destruction. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? They say like want to come before destruction, and we ourselves are being warned. So are the masses in the world. We're constantly being warned, constantly being warned, constantly being warned. So how much more until the destruction come, or the Lord touch you? And that's what you don't want. You don't want to fall into the hands of Yahweh Shem Shai. You don't want that Lord to have to touch you for you to get something. You rather just want to. You want to just take heed. And don't get me wrong, you got different spirits. So you got some brothers it take the hard way to learn. Shoot, it's like I said, speak to myself first and foremost. There's certain things I had to learn the hard way. You feel what I'm saying? But you don't want to. The point is, you don't want to have to learn the hard way. This is James 1:22 in the NLT. It says, but don't just listen to the Most High's words. You must do what it says. Otherwise, you're only fooling yourselves. Verse 23 in the KJV. It says, for if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is likened to a man beholding his natural face in the glass. When you read it in the NLT, it says, for if you listen to the word and don't obey it, it is like glancing at your face in the mirror. Because what? There's going to pulling that mold out your eye. You know what I'm saying? When you look in the mirror, it's just like when you wake up in the morning, you see coal in your eye, or you got slob on the corner of your mouth, or like you got shit like myself, you know what I'm saying, got drool in my beard in the morning, slobbing in your sleep. You know what I'm saying? When you look in the mirror, you're like, okay, boom, I got to get this out. It's time for me to take a shower, wash my beard, wash my face, get a rag, you know what I'm saying? Hit my face with water, get the coal out my eye, brush my teeth, you know what I'm saying? Shit in my mouth, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you got going on when you look in the mirror, you understand, like, I got to fix that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and it's the same way when we look at ourselves in a spiritual lens, we understand there's certain spots that we still got to get out our garments because in the same chapter, as you jump up, it talk about the superfluid of anonymous that left that matter of fact, let's read it real quick. It says, James 1:21. It says, wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with the meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your souls. Right? When you read it in the NLT, because when you read it in the NLT, it make it a lot more plain sometimes. It's James 1:21. It says, so get rid of all the filth and evil in your lives, and humbly accept the word the Most High has planted in your hearts, for it has the power to save your souls. But before we can teach anybody else or correct anybody else, we got to do it for ourselves first, because we're working out our own salvation with fear and trembling. And so you got to understand that. So you getting rid of that old man, you getting rid of all that, all the leftover bullshit that you got in you. You know what I'm saying? And humbly accepting the word of Yahweh Shem Shai. But you got to do it for yourself before you can teach somebody else how to do it. Right? It says. So jumping back down now, it says, I'm going to read it, verse 23 in NLT again. It says, for if you listen to the word and don't obey it, it's like glancing at your face in the mirror. So you forget that you got slob in your goddamn beard. You know what I'm saying? You got crust in your eyes and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? When we because that's why it's important to be examining ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Except we be reprobates. The scriptures talk about that. And I'm going to grab it real quick. Last quote I'm going to grab. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13. In verse 5, and it reads, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. So that's the main person. That's the main person we got to be examining. Is ourselves and understanding we too are in this flesh. We ain't perfect. You feel what I'm saying? So it says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. So we got to prove ourselves first. We got to prove ourselves to be worthy. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves? How that Hamashiach is in you, except you be reprobates? In the NLT, it reads, examine yourselves to see if your faith is genuine. And that's what we got to be doing, is constantly testing ourselves and examining ourselves first. You know what I'm saying? Because now that we examine ourselves, once you get your shit together and once you got your shit together, now you can help another brother. Now you can help the next man order his rail right through the spirit, through the scriptures, through the standard of the scriptures, not your own standard, not how you feel, not how you view a brother, not how you see a brother, or not how you in your feelings behind a brother. Because this ain't the thing of being in your feelings or, well, he do this or he do that, or I look at him and I look at him and looks like that, and it's all after carnality. You know what I'm saying? The carnal mind is enmity with the Most High. You got to be in the spirit when you're dealing with brothers. You feel what I'm saying? Just because a brother might not do something the way you do it or how you do it, don't mean that ain't a man of the Lord, and don't mean he ain't moving in the spirit. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to check yourself. Like our elder Thumb y'all saying, I can. Man, you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. It says, 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5, it says, examine yourselves to see if your faith is genuine. Test yourselves. Surely you know that Hamashiach Yahweh is among you. If not, you have failed the test of genuine faith. And you know the Most High, you know what I'm saying? Granted, we all pray that we ain't none of it always in the spirit, but we pray to always be in the spirit. You feel what I'm saying? But understanding, you know what I'm saying? You got to understand. You got to understand what sometimes that ain't spiritual or damn, that's carnal or that spirit's fucking with me. I got to pray. I need to repent. I got to rebuke these thoughts. It's just certain shit, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? The scriptures talk about how evil suspicion have overthrown people's judgment. You looking at a brother with an evil die, of course it's going to overthrow your judgment. Brother moving in the spirit, but you think he wicked. You know what I'm saying? Or because a brother do something you do, you think he wicked. Hell no, that don't work like that. Or I say you ain't got to put a mote out your own eye. Jake be having their own battles. You feel what I'm saying? You got to fix yourself before you can worry about looking at another brother to try to fix him. But going back, Salakia, to that James chapter 1, James chapter 1, and let me see. I was at 23. So going back from here, now I'm going to read 24. Well, I'm going to read 23 back in the KJV, and I'm going to read 24. It says, for if any man be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in the glass. It says, verse 24, for he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forget what manner he was. When in verse 24, you read it, it is. It says, you see yourself walk away and forget what you look like. So you, like I said, you'd have forgot that the crust was in your eyes, and the beard was, and the slob was in your beard, and all these other things, these imperfections that you got. And then you look at somebody else, but you ready to point out that they got crust in their eyes, a slob in their beard, and shit that they got going on in they walk, but yet you forget what you got going on. You ain't corrected the shit that you got wrong within yourself. So I wanted to go from here. A couple other precepts I had lined up. Khan, I wanted to grab this. Let me grab this. I want to grab this Matthew. I'll end with that one. I'm going to grab this Matthew chapter 7, and I'll start at 1. It says, judge not that ye be not judged. So you don't need to be, that's the thing. Jay can't be walking around judging brothers, especially understanding that we all fighting. You looking at a brother fucked up, but he fighting. And granted, it ain't all about just doing lessons. The elder Matati and Desmond spoke on that. It's not just about doing lessons. You know what I'm saying? You got to, why? Because you got to be practicing what you preach. The shit, because that's what we're being. Because even then, those are the things that we're being judged by here in these latter days. That we're being tested by the counsel that we give brothers. And you gave a brother counsel, but you yourself taking that counsel. You know what I'm saying? Certain stuff that we do, certain stuff that we teach people on the line. Okay, you taught them that. Okay, cool. But are you too living by that same advice? The stuff that we do on these epistles and these lessons, or we're going to highways and hedges, are you walking the same things you're talking? It says, judge not that ye be not judged. So you can, like I said, you ain't walking around judging brothers and understanding we fighting the same fight, but this brother, he fighting just like you. He doing his lessons, he coming to camp, he coming to studies, he doing everything that he's supposed to do. You feel what I'm saying? But yet you judging him because he might not do something the way you do it. Or he kick it a little different than you kick it. Or he into stuff that you might not be into, but yet you judging him and trying to condemn him, but yet you got shit going on that if another brother knew it, or if somebody understood what shit that you had going on behind closed doors, you, like a brother said a couple of years ago, because before I got crossed over in the camp, I was listening to a brother from the Des Moines camp. His name escaped me. I think he's the elder brother. And he said, if we've all done something that if we had to confess it before each other, we wouldn't be able to look each other in our faces. And Jake got shit going on like that now, so you can't be walking around judging other brothers, judging another man's service, because we're all servants of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? It says, judge not that ye be not judged. It says, for with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again. And when we read this verse in the NLT, it says, and this is Yahweh Shai speaking, it's in the red letter. You know what I'm saying? So it's showing you it's deadly serious. All the scriptures are deadly serious, but this is actually our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai speaking. Verse Matthew 7:2, it says, for you will be treated as you treat others. So just the way you treat others, then when somebody starts treating you that way, don't feel no type of way now. Don't get to looking at another brother the type of way now, because now the Lord put the Spirit on him for another brother to treat you the way you treat another brother. It says, for you will be treated as you treat others. The standard you use in judging is the same standard by which you will be judged. And that's why the only way we should be judging brothers is according to the scriptures, according to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. That's it, and that's all. Not how you feel, not based off of how you looking at a situation, not based off of what you think, but according to the scriptures, get the precepts. You know what I'm saying? And see, if that brother not going off, then you shouldn't be judging that brother. That brother ain't going off. He ain't going transgressing laws, commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It shouldn't be shit that you got to say to a brother, especially if you ain't pulled the mote out of your own eye. You ain't corrected your own self. It says, verse 3, it says, here it is. It says, and why behold is the mote that is in our brother's eye, but consider it's not the beam that is in our own eye. We're going to go into these words. Let's go into this word mote. Right? Let's see what it says. It says a draw, stalk, stick, twig, or chafe. You know what I'm saying? And then it says, it considers the beam. Let's see. Let's go into the beam. He didn't really give a whole lot, but you can liken that to, like I said, eye crust in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Ultimately flaws in certain shit that we all got them. You know what I'm saying? Or certain stuff that we might fall at or slip at. But we all fall, we all slip. Like I said, we all fighting the same fight. It says, verse 3 in the NLT, it says, and why worry about a speck in your friend's eye when you have a log in your own? So you worry about some little shit that he doing, but you got way bigger shit that you dealing with. You hear what he say? That's a speck in his eye, but it's a log in yours. You ain't even pull the log out your eye, but you worry about the speck that's in his. That shit off. That shit wicked. It says, verse 7, in Matthew 7:4, it says, or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote of thine eye, and behold, the beam is in thine own eye. You trying to rebuke a brother for some shit that he got going on, or that you think is off, but yet you yourself can't be corrected to no other man. Can't nobody tell you shit, but you can tell somebody else something. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that shit off, that shit is wicked. And what it says, thou hypocrite. Thou hypocrite. And we know that hypocrite goes into actors. And that's the last thing you want to be in this truth doing is faking the funk, acting. Acting like you righteous, but behind the scenes, you ain't nothing but a wicked ass nigga. You feel what I'm saying? And especially with the times we coming into. Because guess what? The Lord is getting ready to see where a lot of men stand. Or have you just been talking a good game, or you really been living these things? And that's what the Lord is finna get ready to find out. And see, we want to be found as men of the Lord. So we got to be walking as men of the Lord. Not just talking, but walking. Not being hearers, but doers. Actually applying these things in our lives first. So that then once we got ourselves together, we can be profitable to the men that are under us or to the next man. You feel what I'm saying? So it says, under us, over us, just being profitable to each other, because scripture talking about iron sharpen iron. We supposed to be sharper than each other. It's not just one-sided, right? It says, thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam of thine own eye. So get your shit together first. Get yourself together first. Worry about you. Work out your own salvation with trembling first. It says, and then shalt thou see clearly. You see that? Then shalt thou see clearly. So then, once you got yourself together, you fuck around and look at a brother, you be like, damn, nah, Jake ain't going off. Jake in the spirit. Jake moving right. Or you know what? Jake fighting. Jake battling. You feel me? Jake trying to overcome something. Yeah, hell yeah, Jake fighting. Hell, Jake going through all that. Jake still coming to camp. Jake still studying. Jake still on point. Jake ain't going through all that shit, and Jake like, he ain't coming to camp. He making excuses. He ain't studying. He always got an excuse for this. Always got an excuse for that. But he dealing, and he fighting to the best of his ability and doing it, and calling upon the names of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So only once you get your own self together, can you see clearly. You can't see clearly if you fight. We all fight the same fight, and you ain't pull the mote out of your own eye or the beam out of your own eye. It says, thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. So once you done cleaned yourself up, now I can go help the brother get himself together. Cause I too now fought that fight, and now I know how to help that brother get over his hurdle. Right? So going from here, I'm going to grab Luke 6, grab a couple more, and I'll get ready to close. This is Luke 6, and I'm going to start at like 41. Let me see. Or 40, we'll see. It's the same, basically the same parable. It says, Yeah, I could start up. Now, I'm going to read these first two verses in the NLT. This is Luke 6:39. It says, Then Yahushua gave the following illustration. So it's an illustration, right? Which is a parable. Can one blind person lead another? Can one blind person lead another? Won't they both fall into a ditch? You trying to tell me what's wrong with me, but you got shit wrong with me, shit wrong with you, and you trying to lead me a certain way when you ain't going when you ain't going the right way yourself because you got things going on within yourself, and now we both fall because we ain't getting our shit together, or because we ain't moving according to the scriptures, or we ain't dealing in the spirit like we should. It says students are not greater than their teacher. So it said the disciple is not greater than his master. It said the students are not greater than their teacher, but the student who is fully trained will become like a teacher. So we got to be fully trained first. You know what I'm saying? We got to learn how the best leaders were the best followers. Like I said, I speak to myself first and foremost. You feel me? Because these are some things that I struggle with in the truth. You know, I'm still a younger brother in the truth. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord has allowed me to have certain experiences. You know what I'm saying? So I speak from experience. So it's understanding you got to learn how to follow before you can lead. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. You got to be taking in more information than you trying to give out because we are learning. You know what I'm saying? We are learning. It's like our elders say, we should be learning something every day. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? It's plenty to learn in the scriptures. It's a never-ending rabbit hole when it comes to the scriptures. You can never go over them enough. Like our apostles and elders say, repetition is the father of learning. So you can't go over these things enough. You can't listen to these lessons enough. It's just like the last study. We were going over the BRICS nations, and our elder was like, shit, instead of turning on rap music in the car, hell, it's one lesson, it was 5 minutes. Keep listening to it. You know what I'm saying? That's how the information begins to stick. Like I say, speaking to self first and foremost. I love listening to music when I get in the car. But sometimes, yeah, you want to turn these lessons on. I don't watch that lesson, but continue to listen to that lesson because other layers start to be revealed to you. Even when you reread the scriptures over and over and over and over, you might have read a chapter. Yeah, you read the chapter, but when you read it again and again and again, you're like, damn. It's other layers. It's other layers. The Lord started to deal a little bit more and more. Why? Because you're being diligent. And that's how we got to be in our walks with ourselves as we examine ourselves, being diligent with ourselves, making sure we getting our shit together. There's like a lesson within the last month or so that the elder Demashapot did. It's like sometimes you got to take time to yourself. Why are you taking that time to yourself? Because you're examining. You making sure you got your shit together. You know what I'm saying? Making sure you got your shit together before you can give counsel to other people or help other brothers or however it is, however the Lord have you dealing, however the Lord got you dealing, but you making sure that you dealing with yourself, making sure you got your shit together. My bed made before I try to tell somebody else how to make theirs. It says, going from here, this verse 41. It says, verse 6. In Luke 6:41, it says, and why worry about expecting your friend's eye when you have a log in your own? Like we said, we just read that in Matthew 7. It says, how can you think of saying, friend, let me help you get rid of the speck in your eye when you can't see past the log in your own eye? And that's the thing. You got to be able to see past your own. You got to see past your own superfluity, your old man. Because we all still chipping away at the old man. As long as we in this flesh, we're going to be chipping away at the old man. We ain't going to be perfect until we get them new bodies. Contrary to popular belief, whatever any brother may believe, you're gonna always be constantly chopping away at this old man. As long as we in this flesh, we in these chains of darkness. So we constantly fighting our own fight, but we gotta make sure we got ourselves together with certain things in our walk before we try to help a brother with the same thing in his walk or different things in theirs. However it go. It says, then you will see well enough to deal with the speck in your friend's eye. But once you got yourself together now, like I said, you see clearly like what's really going on with the brother. You ain't looking at the brother from a carnal eye, like, I don't like how he do. But like I said, the standard is the scriptures. You judging them according to the scriptures. Like, no, Jake, you don't need to do this because this off. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, kind. You understand now, brother, understand that that's off. But you, at the same time, you done pulled it out your eye because you done been through that. But you done been through the same stuff, or you going through other stuff that a brother might not be privy to, but yet you trying to correct the brother on something that he going off, or may not even be going off on, but you ain't pulled a log out of your own eye. You ain't dealt with the shit that you dealing with. Verse 43, it says, for a good tree bringeth forth not corrupt fruit, neither do a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. So you know what I'm saying. So and that's how you know each other. Like you know what I'm saying. You see, like I said, part of fruit. You see a brother still coming to class. You still see a brother doing his lessons. You still see a brother doing everything that he's required to do. And that brother fighting and he dealing in the spirit. But you got a man that's making all these excuses, this, that, and the third. And guess what? He can't bring forth good fruit because shit, it might not be one of the Lord's, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Cause everybody ain't gonna be because we pray that we are, but we understand some in the end. What prophecy on all the pages, some people gonna be weeded out. Because I'm gonna do a testimony lesson on something later on. You know, it'll be a treat for whoever watches, Lord. You know that it'll be edifying. But the things that our apostles and elders and men on down have been preaching and teaching, these aren't lies. These are the scriptures. The scriptures are living, breathing, and true. We're reliving the past times here in these latter days. You know, with all types of things going on. But like I said, I'll get into that later. It says, which is good. An evil man. I'm gonna read 45 in the KJV. It says, a good man out of the treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good. And what's the treasure that we're supposed to have in our heart? This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is also what? The measuring tool, how the standard, what we measure brothers to, what the standard that we hold brothers to, and the way that we and the standard that we model our lives after, walking according to the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says that was good. And the evil man out of the evil treasure of the heart. So if you got a carnal mind, you got an evil eye towards brothers, you ain't really dealing in the spirit, you ain't really examining yourself, it says bringing forth that which is evil. For the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So what's really in your mind is going to come out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure we speak the oracles of the Most High. We want to make sure we edify. We want to make sure that you build them brothers up. Because of course we understand rebuke is needful. It's a lesson a while ago that Apostle Rumlob and Elder Demas did. They said, if you're going to tear a brother down, you damn sure better know how to build that brother back up. Because that's the last thing you want to be doing is tearing a brother down, but the Lord really dealing with him. Or you really offended, or you trespassing against him, or you ain't dealing right with him in the spirit, and now the Lord got to jack your ass up. And that's why it's so pivotal, and because that's something my elder been pushing for a long time now, is how you deal with brothers. You feel me? Real talk, you don't want to be on no whole shit with brothers. You want to be dealing in the spirit with brothers. And if you're going to tear a brother down, you want to be able to build that brother back up in the spirit, according to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, right? But this is verse 46. It says, and why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? So calling upon the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but they ain't doing what he say. He don't say this for no reason, because it means people going to be calling upon the name of the Lord, but they ain't doing nothing he said do. You can correct everybody else under, you can correct any and everybody under the sun, but yet you ain't being proper to yourself because you don't examine or pull the log out of the beam or out of your own eye. It says, whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them, I will show you to him as a light. So the ones that's really living according to Yahweh, that's what the Lord finna get ready to show. The ones that's really been living and modeling their lives according to the scriptures, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the scriptures, the Lord gonna show you what that man is like. And what he said, he finna get ready to make his men more precious than fine gold. So going from here, what he say? He says, verse 48, it says, he is like a man which built an house and dig deep and laid the foundation on a rock. When the flood arose and the stream beat vehemently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon that rock. And who's that rock? Yahushua. Because he's written in what? The volume of the book. So understanding that Yahushua is written in the volume of the book, because you're founded on that rock, you're gonna be able to withstand the test of time. Because wisdom now is going to be the stability of our time, the strength of our salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. Because we feared the Lord and we did the things found written in the scriptures. When we head in the midst of Jacob's trouble, the ports closing, World War III beating down America back. Understand it, that we're going to be able to stand the test of time. Why? Because we truly did the things that Yahweh Shem Yahushua required of us. But what? It says, but he that heareth and doeth not. So the one that was a hearer and not a doer, he says, is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth. So really you trusted in vain things. You really were carnal the whole time. You wasn't really moving according to the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You wasn't really listening to the men that were over you. Beginning with our apostles and elders on down that have labored in this truth. It said, it's like a man that without a foundation. So ultimately you never had a real foundation, because you were never really persuaded in your own mind or grounded in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It says against which stream to beat vehemently. So when all these troubles, all these woes we keep talking about come upon America, come and on American soil, it says, did beat vehemently, Jacob's trouble smacking you in your face left and right. It says, and immediately fell, and the ruin of that house was great. So your ruin gonna be so much, your ruin is gonna be great. And everybody's gonna see it. Why? Because now the Most High is gonna expose who's been what? Examining themselves. Who's been getting themselves together before the great and terrible day of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua? Who's been walking after the counsel of his mind? Who's been doing what he said do before the great and terrible day, before Jacob's trouble, before World War III? So they haven't done all the standing that evil day. Huh? But the ones that don't, then like you said, the fall of that house is gonna be great. We're gonna close with this. This is like I said, it's pivotal that we be examining ourselves and making sure we getting ourselves together before we can try to correct others. I'm gonna read this and I'll close. This is Sirach chapter 37, and this is verse 19. It says, "There's one that is wise and teach of many," and that's what we supposed to be. Iron sharpening iron. We're teaching each other, showing each other, teaching the newcomers. You know what I'm saying? Teaching the nation of Israel. But it says there's one that is wise and teaching many, and yet is unprofitable to himself. You casting out, you giving out all the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You breaking down all the precepts. You applying, you showing people the precepts and what they need to apply in their life. But yet you yourself aren't doing the same so that you can profit, that you can reap the benefits. Well, I speak to myself first and foremost. You know, before I'm speaking to anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what we got to do. Before we can be profitable to anybody else, we got to be profitable to ourselves first. Because we understand we got to be examining ourselves, because that's a part of us working out our salvation with fear and trembling. You know what I'm saying? So, Lord willing, this video was edifying. I'm going to end giving all honor, glory, and infinite praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of the great millstone that taught us the truth. Peace, blessings, and salutation to the sincere Akim, laboring in this truth, preaching and teaching, believing on the name Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And peace, blessings, salutation to the men, women, children that believe on the name Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Till the next time I say Kwam Yashala, Shalom, Abba, Abba.